Well, hello everybody! If you expect this to be the all-encompassing, comprehensive video about the natural state, this is not it. It is, however, going to be a nice, fun ride. We're going to stay at a winery in Altus, Arkansas. We are going to explore Paris, Eiffel Tower and all. Magazine Mountain, the highest point in the state. And in Little Rock, well, the Bill Clinton Presidential Library, among other things. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
I'm gonna stay at a Harvest Hosts. It is called the Post Winery, and hopefully their wines are good and I can buy a couple of bottles, for the road. Actually, one for the Georgia family, one to take to Miami.
Getting off the interstate, we drive across this town called Ozark as we make our way to the winery, which is on the next town. It's called Altus. There's the sign, so we gotta make a left.
This is where I'm spending the night, at the Post Winery.
Since 1880, huh? They've been here for a while, for 5 generations to be exact. They were actually the first commercial winery here in Arkansas, and nowadays the largest one in the state. I am able to spend the night here for free thanks to my Harvest Hosts membership, and of course, I went inside, did a wine tasting, bought a couple of bottles. By the way, very friendly and welcoming staff. And good wines too. Here's a bird's eye view of our surroundings on this gray and gloomy winter afternoon. Well, there it is. My home for the night. Good night.
Well, good morning and greetings from Altus, Arkansas. I'm gonna go to the post office. It's like a block away. And then we're going to Little Rock. It's 35 degrees out there. And let me tell you, everything is perspective. I used to think 45 degrees was cold. Now my threshold is down to 35, especially with the breeze. Well, let's go explore Arkansas. I mean, I want to make it to Little Rock today, but I'm in no rush. Let's, it's kind of nice here in the morning. It's supposed to be raining, but it's not raining yet.
In 400 feet, turn right onto US 64 West.
We are in Paris, population 3,500. Paris, Arkansas. You know what? I like this area of Arkansas. It's rolling hills and very nice. I bet you in the summer this is gonna be beautiful.
Well, yeah, who would have thought that there would be a Paris in Arkansas, huh? Let's try and find parking and walk around a little bit.
Well, Paris, Arkansas here does have its own Eiffel Tower. Check it out.
Let's move to another vantage point here so we can see the district courthouse. Let's continue. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Route 66 ever came through here. Let's go to Magazine Mountain, which happens to be the highest point in the whole state. Let me tell you, it is a fun drive through these rolling hills, although I admit it, it would be a lot more fun if I wasn't towing the trailer. Alright, we're almost there.
Sun has come out. Still pretty hazy. Danger, high cliff, no kidding.
Well, yeah, as Rick Steves would say it, it is a commanding view. And there was this road that went even higher, but I didn't feel like venturing all the way up there with Minitini the trailer in tow. Here's a pretty decent view of Blue Mountain Lake. From here, the Petite Jean Valley overlook.
Well, yeah, I approve. Let's continue. I was born in Havana, Cuba, right? Well, this is Havana, Arkansas. Pretty cool.
Yep, Havana, Arkansas. Very small town, population 375. You blink, you missed it, and I'm glad I didn't. It should be an uneventful drive all the way to Little Rock, except for some rain. Actually, lots of rain. We're going to be staying here at downtown Riverside RV Park, impeccably located on the Arkansas River, right across from the Bill Clinton Presidential Library. Too bad the weather is not cooperating today. I unhitched and I'm going right back out.
You remember, this video is brought to you by Custom Covers. Well, I'm having lunch with them today here in Little Rock, Arkansas. This is where they're from.
Yeah, I got in touch with Ray and Lisa of Custom Covers. If you remember, they used to be a sponsor. Well, they are from here, from Little Rock, and they have invited me to lunch. So I figure it might be a good opportunity to catch up. We agreed to meet up at this restaurant called the Oyster Bar.
Well, yeah, it's raining non-stop here in Little Rock. That was a nice lunch with Ray and Lisa Boxley here at the Oyster House. Let me go in the front so I can show you the front of the restaurant. They say they've been coming here for 30 years and the restaurant has probably been here even longer than that. So it's one of those places that lasts forever. So usually a testament to the quality of food, I guess. Let me go around the block so I can show you the front of the restaurant. That's the place.
Before going back to the RV park, let's drive by the Capitol building just to see it, just in case we don't get to come back later. Uh-oh, I don't think we're supposed to go through here. Let's go back to the RV park. I don't really feel like doing anything in this weather. Tomorrow will be another day. By the way, the RV park is supposed to be in this really sketchy neighborhood, and they have all kinds of security measures, and they advise you not to walk on the bridge, but aside from a few homeless people, it doesn't really seem that bad.
Now it stopped raining as it starts to get dark.
Well, good night.
Well, good morning from Little Rock, Arkansas, where it has stopped raining. It's still a little cloudy and wet, but yeah, it's gonna be a good day today. And this is the Arkansas River, of course. That's the Bill Clinton Bridge, and across the bridge is the Bill Clinton Presidential Library. So I think that's the first thing we're gonna visit today, and then we'll see. A very nice campsite right here on the bank of the Arkansas River.
Very nice looking building. Architecturally, looks modern. Well, let's go inside, shall we? Here we have some artifacts to use by the Secret Service. You know, these guys dressed in black in charge of protecting the president. And this first exhibit here, of course, the presidential limo, or as I prefer to call it, Bill's Swanky Ride. This is one of 3 1993 Cadillac Fleetwood limousines, outfitted with, at the time, state-of-the-art protection and communication systems that allowed for communication anywhere in the world. In 1993, we mere mortals were still using AOL. On dial-up, of course.
A story of a land where even a boy from a small town in Arkansas could hope to one day, someday, help make those people's dreams come true.
We begin with a movie in which Bill tells us all about his life story, and exhibit after exhibit from his campaigns to become governor and then president, and I particularly enjoy seeing the old pictures. This was actually the first presidential race I witnessed as an American resident at the time, so yeah, it is a pretty vivid memory for me. Here's a full-scale replica of the cabinet room, and I don't know what Ben is doing here, but yeah, really cool to see the place where all the big decisions were made about Kosovo, Bosnia, the Middle East. Ooh, the saxophone. Is that the one that he played at the Arsenio Hall show? There are displays with everything that mattered for every single year of the presidency.
I remember that.
A section, of course, dedicated to Hillary, the First Lady.
Let's go to the 3rd floor, actually. Check it out. State events, okay, that's Hillary's dress. Gown, actually.
And if you wanted to know what the presidential China looked like, well, here it is.
And about this time I start to get tired. So I'm going to sort of sit down with a confession.
Never mind about the confession. We've got more saxophones here. There's lots of art and memorabilia, but my favorite is the replica of the Oval Office. As you probably know, every president redecorates the Oval Office to his liking. He chooses the desk and other ornaments around the room. So it was really cool to see Bill's version of the Oval Office. No trace of the cigar though.
That was very cool, replica of the Oval Office.
Well, yes, there's Bill. One of the most influential presidents of our lifetime, perhaps. Have you noticed that every president has been a two-term president after Bill? He presided, of course, at a pivotal moment in history, the period right after the fall of the Soviet Union, the end of the Cold War, the rise of the internet. Very well presented, well done for sure. And I did expect it to have a positive spin on anything Clinton did, but you come out of here thinking the man was a saint. Best American ever. Not even a footnote about Miss Lewinsky, like she's been somehow erased from history. Then again, it is his library, so he can choose what to include or omit at his discretion. And that's all I have to say about that. The 90s. Yeah, good times. I'm hungry. Let's go back to Minitini for lunch.
I admit it might be a little strange, but that's how I'm rolling today. Maybe I could wrap it like this and eat it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a burger taco. Okay, let's go downtown. Let's go find the Little Rock. It's $5 to park here. Not the end of the world. Well, here we are by the Arkansas River.
So here we are.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. I don't recall the exact name of this park, but there is public art all over the place. There are several pieces of the original Little Rock, first seen by the French explorer Bernard de la Harpe on his voyage from the mouth of the Mississippi up the Arkansas back in 1722. Most of the rock was removed in the late 1800s in order to build the Junction Bridge here. Ooh, submarine. Apparently part of the Inland Maritime Museum. Gonna walk around this area a little bit since I already paid my $5 and I probably didn't have to. Seems like a pretty quiet downtown. I mean, for a Wednesday afternoon. They do have some cool-looking streetcars here. They've been running since 2004, but you know what's even cooler? A cow on the sidewalk. And the statue of a pig. Still not as cool as the cow.
What a difference the day makes, right? Today the weather is beautiful and it's a totally different experience.
If you want to pet a cow, come to Little Rock. In any case, let's see what else we stumble upon. There's the old State House, so let's stop real quick to see it.
Free admission. Let's do it.
This is actually the original state capitol, dating back to 1833, and it is right here in the middle of downtown Little Rock. Here they have the suit Hillary Clinton wore when Bill announced his bid for the presidency, and lots of other stuff. But first, let's go up these creaky stairs.
Pretty cool. And this would have been the House of Representatives.
It is actually the 1885 Legislative Chamber. The next exhibit, First Ladies of Arkansas, Women of Their Times. And there's some memorabilia from Hillary's campaign as well. Here we have an old telephone switchboard and a computer. Yep, I'm telling you, I love all this ancient technology. We are living in the future for sure.
There's nothing to substitute for the actual.
That was a pretty cool museum. Definitely worth the price of admission, which is free, of course. And yeah, I liked it. This is the old State's House. Now let's go to the new State House, or the Capitol building. I don't know how they call it here. But so far, Little Rock, a pretty nice, relatively quiet city. But I like it.
Before we go to the capital, let's stop by Macarthur Park. It is listed as one of the top things to do in Little Rock. And here we are, very nice residential area, which is actually part of the Macarthur Park Historic District. And here we can see some of the city's finest surviving antebellum and late Victorian architecture.
This is the Arkansas Korean War Veterans Memorial.
Here's the Museum of Military History, but at this point I'm kind of museumed out. Let's go somewhere else. We're gonna go to a famous high school actually, one in the National Park Service and a National Historic Site. I'm talking, of course, of Little Rock Central High School. Central High School here was the site of forced desegregation in 1957, when 9 African American students registered for that school year, which ended up in a big showdown between the state government and the federal government. It got pretty ugly, and the museum is really well executed. And since this already happened in the television era, there's a lot of audiovisual material. It also brought worldwide attention to what happened here, which boggles the mind. And there's the building where it all happened. To this day, a working high school, where teenagers of any race can now study together. There's a historic Magnolia gas station across the street as well.
You know, I just came to a realization after I visited the Central High School Visitor Center, that the civil rights movement happened when it happened, probably because of television. You know, before television, a lot of stuff happened in the segregated states that that people didn't know or cared about until they saw it on TV, and then there was that outrage, you know, in the rest of the country. I had never thought of it that way.
Let's go find the governor's mansion, and that's as close as I could get. Let's keep driving around. Maybe we find another way. And here it is, the front of it. Lovely neighborhood, by the way. Before we go, there it is, the current Capitol building. But it is late, and I'm kinda tired, so we're gonna call it a day and go back to the RV park. Tomorrow, we begin the long journey home.
Well, with this weather now, I'm kind of sad I have to leave.
But yeah, after almost 2 months on the road, Florida is calling. And we're gonna make it nearly non-stop.
Well, we ran out of propane at 5 a.m. And I decided to just wake up and make my coffee. Well, first I had to, change from one propane tank to the other. One of these days I'm going to show you how it's done. It's really a simple process. There's a switch that you can switch from oh, you can't see anything. Beautiful sunrise here in Little Rock. Hopefully I won't hit anything. And well, we're gonna go now to get some propane before we leave
Head west toward Bishop Lindsay Avenue.
And this is pretty much the end of the trip, really. I mean, for the next 4 days, I'm gonna be driving. It's gonna be a lot of driving. I'm gonna take 2 days to get to Atlanta, and then 2 days to get to South Florida. I'm still quite far away from home. But you're more than welcome to stick around, you know, if you wanna stick around for the trip home. We might see some interesting stuff along the way. I mean, we're gonna stop by Memphis. Maybe not stop, but just see Memphis from the road. We might eat something. I don't know. We might stop in Tupelo, Mississippi. We might stop in Birmingham, Alabama. But I don't know, because I don't really have a plan. My plan is just to drive and not have a plan.
The RV park itself doesn't sell propane, but they recommend you come to this U-Haul here, which is about a mile from the RV park.
I'm more than halfway home. I'm getting tired, I'm getting sleepy. I've been away for too long. Driving to the east and getting home. I have been away for too long. Driving to the east and going home. I've been in the west for too long.
Well, I knew we were gonna get caught up with the rain at some point, right? And this is a band that is, going diagonally through the northern part of Alabama and Georgia and Mississippi, where I am right now. I'm just gonna try to punch through it. It's not supposed to be raining in Birmingham. It's 2.5 hours to there, so I'm just gonna punch through this rain band, and hopefully it doesn't go after me tomorrow. Hopefully.
Driving to the east and getting home. I have been away for too long. Driving to the east and going home. I've been in the west for too long.
Welcome to Georgia.
Thank you.
Well, today I'm going to Mush Dock in Georgia with family. And since it is Friday, we're going to do a live stream.
Well, hello everybody, coming to you from central northern Georgia. And hopefully we have got good internet here at my brother-in-law's house. And thank you for watching. See you on the road, and I'll see you next week. Have a great, awesome weekend. Stay warm in the north, stay dry in the west, or actually in Appalachia, and stay warm in Florida. Bye now. Well, let's go buy some pecans here at the We're Nuts place. What's it called? Ellis Brothers. I usually, it's one of those places that is close to I-75, so I usually stop to get some key pecans and, Georgia products. Got my orange juice. Now let's go take a picture with the sign and continue. Greetings from Florida. It's horribly hot out there. Actually, it feels hotter than it is. It's probably 80. But first time I sweat since Angel's Landing, I think.
Continue for half a mile.
I'm gonna just try to go past Jacksonville and then look for a Cracker Barrel or somewhere to stay.
Before you go, did you know that I also have a podcast? Well, I do, and if you're not tired of my voice yet, check it out. Just search for Living the RV Dream with Traveling Robert in your favorite podcast app. And there are also direct links at travelingrobert.com/blog.